What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Crossroadz, the show where we provide you the tools to break boundaries, reach new frontiers, and unlock your greatest story. And today we have an awesome guest. He is someone who has made a lot of noise in the breaking scene as of recent. He's been training for a while. He's based in Taiwan. So if you are listening to this in 2020, you may have an idea of what I'm talking about. This guy is the leader of Dream Runnerz Crew, associated with Our City B-Boys, and recently challenged the legend and previous guest of the Crossroadz, Hong Ten, to a 35-round match, which he decided to air live in front of the entire world, from the entire globe, and took it like a champion. His name is Harrien, aka B-Boy Harricane from Dream Runnerz. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you for making the time from Taiwan to talk to us here in San Diego. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's my honor to get this interview, and I also love to share my story with anyone. So thanks for invites. Yeah, I will do my best, even though my English is not well, but I will try to express myself. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, man. Yeah. Again, and I didn't think we introduced ourselves. My name's Nico Castro, and we also have.
My name is Kai. I am your host.
Hi.
I'm your co-host. So yeah, nice to meet you, Harrien.
you.
And yeah, I mean, dude, your English, I can say as a native English speaker, listening to your interviews when you decide to speak in English, it's very good. So don't sell yourself short. Yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
I want to ask you a little bit about that. Yeah. Because you told us a little bit off of air that the reason why you learned English is because you have a background with that. So how is that kind of for you? How did you begin to learn English, and what has your story been for that?
My parents, they opened a studio and a school. So when I was little, I always stay in studio and the school all the time. So I learned English. But I'm kind of like I love to exercise or active too much. So I never really serious on the class. So I know a little bit, but I'm not very well. And after I know I into the b-boy scene, I realized how English is important, can help my career. So I started to read book and the movie and trying to not scared say to anyone, because I know foreign are not gonna love me my English. So I just trying to speak anything. Yeah.
Nice. How many other languages can you speak?
No, only
Okay.
only Chinese and English.
Dude, your English is really, really good. Yeah, and I respect you because it's not easy learning a new language. And I appreciate it too, because if you hadn't worked on this skill, we would not be able to talk right now. Because as I was telling you, yeah, 我的中文很不好, very, very bad. So I can't speak to you in your native language, unfortunately. But for you making the effort, it's allowed you many opportunities from this interview to what you're doing now. I think English is going to be a very valuable tool, and just having another language, right? So the next question I have for you, and I think something that everyone's wondering right now, that I don't think I've been able to really hear too much about, is not too long ago, maybe about a month or two ago, you guys hosted an event in Chiayi, your hometown of Taiwan, and the main highlights was a battle between you and Hong Ten. So I'm curious, how has your life been since that event? Anything changed? Any big things you've had to deal with, or what's it been like since the event for you?
I think for the event, I feel honored because me and my crew member, we work very hard for this, and we build our fans, everything, make my city's audience love breaking culture. So after government see this, they gonna invest. So they make this event, and kind of like asking me who is the people I want to battle. So for sure, I want to battle my heroes. It's Hong Ten. Yeah. So during this time, we do a lot of work like how to control the virus. Like usually, if I do an event, Dream Runners have 3,000 fans gonna come usually. But for this situation, it's only 1,500. But still very hard. Yeah.
That's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot, and they pay ticket, so I need to give them the best. I make them
Experience.
happy. Yeah, I
Yes.
want to make sure they don't disappoint on B-boy. So actually, I spend a lot of time on this. And after event, I'm happy because yeah, we designed like how to battle can make the audience hype. So why I battle hometown so long is that is one of the reason. And after battle, the fans because I know they love me, so I lost, and I saw a lot of people crying, and I feel like oh, really appreciate they support me, and the mayor saying he gonna do this for more years, so it's mean Chiayi City happy, government happy, and the audience happy, and I'm happy because I battle my hero, and everyone is happy. So I think very good. Yeah, I will keep make it more bigger.
That's absolutely incredible, man. Yeah, it to us, I mean, it's just such a foreign thing for the US because breaking is so underground still here. So not a lot of people, we don't have a lot of fans. Everyone who's a fan is probably a b-boy. We don't have regular people coming to watch our events. So watching your event do that was mind-blowing. So how did that start? How did you guys start to gain fans? Do you remember a time before you had any fans, Harrien? And then how did that kind of begin to build?
Okay, in early beginning, it's Dizzy. He tell me something about fans, how fans important, and I just like this, like yeah, why I never think about that, and so we start to build everything. We think about when we battling or our my old experience, everything. Why b-boy never got popular for general audience, and I used some paper and question, and I asking all the street people something like that, and I invite some friend to come my event, and I test a lot of time like if I battle like this way, do you feel hype? And if they say no, they don't understand what's the point, I fix. So I do a lot of work on how to make the event hype. And after event, how to make audience become fans. Yeah, so it's around 2017. So after I settle back, I have two options. During that time, I tell a lot of my friends, say, yo, I'm gonna build my team, Dream Runner, and do something to feedback the b-boy culture, trying to make this bigger. And the other people, some of my friends just say, hey, you just doing well in Silverback. You should continue your b-boy solo career. But for me, I think if I keeping this way, my crew member one day gonna die because it's not enough income to feed them. And so I think I need to manage it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I kind of like put more energy on how to make my member like a Monkey King, they going more international, and make the Chiayi City audience like now in Taiwan everyone know what is b-boying, and in Chiayi it's almost everyone know Dream Runners. I mean general people. Yeah, so we are proud of this, but also I spend a lot of time to make my skill better.
Yeah,
I waste a lot of time.
You waste a lot of time, really? You think so?
Yeah.
Huh.
So could you provide us some, I guess, a description of what it's like to be Harrien, like your job, right? So you dance, you compete, and you also manage a crew, right? So what are some tasks on your everyday basis that you have to do? Because here in the States,
like schedule?
Yes.
Yeah, your schedule. So what are the most important things that you have to take care of? You manage the crew. You have to practice on your own stuff.
It's really heavy. Yeah, before when I just a solo b-boy, and I just focus on breaking every moment. Like I awake and I practice on 1 p.m. until 10 p.m.
Damn.
That was my that was my schedule before 2017. And after I start to build my career, I mean about event, my crew, I only practice 2 hours a day. And sometimes I just said like, okay, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. I want to practice. But some businessmen or sponsor just call me, hey, yo, we got a meeting. And I want to practice, but I need to think about my future and my crew members. So I'm gonna go to meetings. So now I maybe do workout 30 minutes and I make a 2 hours time to practice and meeting with my crew member. And I do some project and planning like my my crew business now is very good. We have a lot of students, a lot of events and a sponsor. But I think if I don't think about the future, something is gonna lose. Maybe they just interesting now, but I don't want Dream Runners or breaking in Chiayi in Taiwan. It's just a trend. So I need to manage it very well. So I also spend a lot of time on this, like how to make my crew member work more close, because a lot of crew, they fight each other very well. Yeah, like, oh, I jealous Monkey King can go Rebel BC1, so I talk some shit or something. Yeah, I trying to get this balance.
Wow. Oh, so that means you wear a lot of hats, meaning you operate a lot of positions and you have a lot of jobs. How do you balance it all? A lot. Right? I know you have to sacrifice some practice time so you can focus on work and focus on business, but sometimes don't you want to dance longer? Sometimes don't you know you have to work on business longer? How do you stay happy, or how do you stay sane through balancing all of it?
Sometimes I really negative, but just a little time. Like when I battle after home 10, actually before I battle home 10, I know I'm gonna lose, because I'm separate my time to organize, to talk with government, to handle my crew member, to only little time I can prepare to battle him. And he's my hero, and the battle format is new. So, shit, for me, it's a big challenge. If home 10 don't used to the battle format, and because of this, I beat him, I gonna get people talk shit, say, oh, you cheating, or you do something bad. So, but if I lose, I know still someone to talk. So before the battle, I already think like, okay, battle him is my my duty and my kind of my dream. So after battle, no matter how other people talk shit, I just like this. And they think, okay, I'm doing well. And I saw some bad comment, I just like, they are jealous. Yeah, something like that. So it can make me stay like positive. Yeah. So
okay, I think that goes into a bigger topic of how do you deal with negativity, because for a lot of people it's pretty difficult to just plug your ears and say no, like they're probably jealous, right? Or have that different perspective of maybe they're having a tough time in life, so maybe they want to hate on me. So how do you deal with negativity?
I do more work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I play piano.
I saw that.
For breaking, for me now is a career. So I sometimes if I'm too negative, I really don't want to practice. So I play piano. But just a little time, maybe around 1 hour. 1 hour cannot let your negative go away. So I just work more harder, and I have some mind in something in my mind, like speak to me, like if you someday doing bigger and more successful, hater will more jealous and they very jealous on you and angry. I want to make that. So sometimes I just thank them, because they make me have a lot of energy to do something like, okay, I will prove you wrong. Because when I started breaking, in Chiayi City, my old generation say, yo, you can't make a name on international because Chiayi is a small city, and then you don't have a teacher. You just watching Hongtan's video all the time. You are better of him, so you don't have a chance. So in my mind, I don't argue with him, but I just think, okay, in the future, I will let you know I'm right and you are wrong. So I start to work a lot. Yeah. Just something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that makes a lot of sense, man.
Longer, you forget the negative. Yeah.
I love that. I can get behind that as well. I think all of us, when we were younger, there is a point where we've had a failure or that we felt like the people didn't accept us for being good enough. And people would shun us away, right? Like, you're not good enough. Like, what are you thinking? You don't have a shot. And that negativity that people bring to you can be converted, like you said, into fuel. You can use it to be like, all right, you think so? Like, I'm gonna prove you wrong, right? So then you gotta kind of find a way to use that negativity to turn it into something positive. And I respect you for that. And it's incredible, man. Like, to hear where you came from that point where your elders in breaking were saying you could not do it, to Chiayi now being arguably at the current moment in the year of 2020 the most famous city in breaking, right? So you have proven a lot of people wrong, and you've continued to push the envelope, which is why, I mean, I want to acknowledge you for that for first. Yeah. And I have another question based off of that, because I remember talking to a friend who you had conversed with before, and I could be wrong. I want you to confirm this, but he did tell me that as a kid you had to deal with a lot of hate as well. I'm not sure if that's something that you had to kind of deal with as a child or if you were in school, but how did that kind of fuel you and put you on your path?
It's just like my parents, because they do studio, so they think, oh, you do breaking? It's kind of like poor people thing. And you gonna smoke, gonna do something, and you have no money in your future. So my father and mother just blocked me very hard, so hard.
Oh, wow, really?
Even though I just practice in the park, and my father tell me, yo, if you keeping practice there with your friend, I will call the police to catch you. Yeah, something like that. And also my friend always say something like, oh, you never can be success, because I want to win the Taiwan BC1 qualifier that time. And they say, yo, it's possible. Before you, it's no people from small city can win this in Taiwan. So how you think you have a chance? And so I think it's not bully. I just feel a lot of people, they don't understand you. They just think you cannot do it. You don't have a chance. But after that, I know if people gonna fail, it's because his mind is always tell himself like, oh, I can't do it. Or if I can't do it, so you can't do it too. So they limit themselves. So until now, every of my dream list is happened. Yeah, everything is happened. So I more believe on if you trust yourself, no matter how other people are talking, even though you feel kind of hard, but you just keep your faith, then you can success. Yeah. That's so great. I don't think it's bully. Yeah. For me, it's a motivation. Yeah.
Got you. Wow. Yeah. Very powerful.
And actually, some people during this time, it's also a lot of people say, oh, you are good or you something. But for my character, sometimes I don't listen. if someone say, oh, you do good in BC1 or something like that, I sometimes think like maybe he just say this in front of me. I'm happy, but I think if I really enjoy this word, I cannot get better. So I just thanks. Yeah, but if some people touch on me, I feel like, okay, I will prove you wrong. Yeah, so both is motivation me, but touch it more.
That's incredible. Yeah, it's very similar to a lesson that we have heard from someone that we look up to. His name is Gary V. and he talks a lot
Oh,
about. Do you know Gary Vee?
I
Are
know
you
Gary
familiar?
Vee.
Exactly. He always
I
talks
love him.
about, I can't hear you. I can't hear the bad, and I can't hear the good, because I believe in what I'm doing. You know, and I
Yeah.
think what you have been proving and what you have been operating on is very similar to that idea. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that you like Gary Vee, because the next question I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you is about how entrepreneurship and breaking ties it together. Because what you guys have been doing is essentially, like you said, your parents, when you started breaking, which wasn't that long ago, like in the long scheme of things, um, it was like a street thing, right? It was like for gangster. It's gangster. It was like dirty, like poor. But now everyone in your city knows what breaking is. So that's like that's you've turned it into a national sport or a national practice, a national arts. And so, how has business and entrepreneurship played a part in your breaking? Because it's like you said, you don't have time to practice all day anymore. Now you have to handle everything else. So, okay, the question, I think it'll be easier to answer, is who do you look up to for inspiration for when it comes to management, when it comes to business, when it comes to entrepreneurship? Do you have any inspirations or heroes or anything like that?
Lot.
Yeah.
My biggest in breaking, my role model is Hong Ten, because he keeping in this scene 20 years, always on the top level. So he
Crazy.
teach me one thing is only do one thing and put your all energy. One day you can prove something and you can success. And the second in my life is Bruce Lee. Yeah, I read all of his book and the old movie again and again, because I'm not just a talk like I love Bruce Lee. I trying to read his mind. Yeah, like early beginning, he say, "Yo, Chinese kung fu cannot believe in style. We need to make everything mix." So I think it's kind of like a breaking scene, because breaking scene like footwork guys or power move guys usually like, "Oh no, you do footwork, so I don't love your style," or that is circus is not b-boying, or something like it's too commercial, it's not b-boy, or too underground, it's poor. So I think a lot of people they have a too much opinion on themselves. They don't trying to understand other side of breaking or everything. But I know it's hard, so that's why Bruce Lee is legend. So sometimes when I was younger, I'm also do that thing. Like, I think underground is shit, or commercial is shit, or something like that. But after I trying to read everything, I found everything is right. Just depend how you look. So Bruce Lee teach me like this, and Gary Vee also teach me a lot.
Awesome.
My favorite word from him is "Yo, you are young, so no matter what you choose, the way or option, after 5 years, it's just an experience. So don't scare, just do." So before I bet Hong Ten, I kind of scared, because I think like if I lose in front of my supporter, they maybe quit. They don't love me anymore. But so when I choose my opponent, I was thinking maybe I can choose someone I can beat, or I choose Hong Ten. And I'm really hard to decide. And almost of my friends say, "Hey, you shouldn't bet on Hong Ten because you're gonna lose." But I just remind Gary Vee say, just do what you want. And even though you lose to Hong Ten, after 5 years, it's a great experience.
Wow.
So yeah, he made me think like this. Yeah, so I just think, okay, no matter how you say, I just bet on him. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think that's it. Yeah, my inspiration.
No, those are all awesome heroes that I can see in you. Like I mean, it's like you said, the 5-year thing. You had to take that risk, right? I think that's something that we all struggle with, right? Just how big of a jump we want to take, because you could have chosen a different opponent to battle. You could have chosen someone that would have been easier, more reasonable to face, and maybe even beat. But like you said earlier, you almost knew that you were going to lose to this guy, and and your fans are on the line, your name is on the line. Like you had predicted in your head what might happen, but you still went through with it. And I think now when you tell us your mentality where it's like, oh yeah, we're still young, you know, like we can
Yeah.
do this, we can fail, but in 5 years it's just going to be an experience. And on top
Yeah.
of that, with every experience you have that you pushed yourself, it's only going to
Yeah.
allow yourself to grow even more in the future, right? So that we wouldn't be talking right now if you hadn't chosen Hong Ten as your opponent, right? Knowing the risks, you took the risks and they're paying off now. So I think
Yeah.
your lesson and your courage is something that all of us can look up to. So, dude, thank you for sharing that and your heroes and all of that.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
think
remarkable.
I'm not sure that it's I speak too much. My father, he do business also well, and he tell me one thing like he yeah, he say a lot of men, businessmen, they earn a lot of money, but when they older, they just feel pity because they never realize their dream. So my father also tell me say, you do all of your dream. It's a lot of men can do all the life. So yes, it's not only about money. Yeah. So now I remind the during the event, I can make home ten very deeper. For me, it's wonderful because when I was little, I just watching his old video and practice every move, and I think like if one day I can become his friend, it's enough for my life. Yeah, but everything has happened. So yeah,
It's incredible, man. Yeah, you have shown, and are you 29 right now? Are you?
yeah, 29.
Wow. So yeah, you haven't even broken 30 yet. And like you said, you've already so many of the things that you dreamed of doing, they've already been coming true. It's crazy, right? So with that being said, because of all these dreams being realized at such a young age, what do you have plans for and dreams for in the future now? Do you have any goals for when you want to be 35 or 40? What are your vision now that you've gotten to this point?
For my breaking skill, I already my goal is already finished. Like a battle home 10, it's finished. Yeah, so I have the next goal. It's like I want to make, maybe it's kind of too big. I want to make breaking not only Olympic, also have something like a UFC or NBA a league. So I'm designing the format, how to work very well, and also finding the sponsor. And my dream is make top b-boy don't really need to care money anymore. And I want to make them famous like Conor McGregor or something like that. Because I think if I don't have a power and I can do like now Chiayi City know me, every people on the street. So if someone they have a more international reputation, I think they also can do that, but they just don't have a know-how or something like that. So for my turn, before 40, I want to make a league and make my crew member rich and make the breaking culture better. And I want to buy a jet.
Oh shoot! You want to buy a jet?
It's really hard, but
Yo, okay.
if I think like this, at least maybe I can do this.
You heard it here first on the Crossroadz. Yeah, I'm gonna check in with you in 10 years, Harrien, and I hope I'll be riding your jet. I wanna ride your jet.
Pleasure.
Yeah. I expect you to hold up to that because I want you to come here and pick me up and then fly back to Taiwan or just go wherever we want. It's gonna be in 10 years, all right?
Yeah.
Nice.
If
All right,
I reach enough.
I like the big thinking, and honestly, dude, you've been moving quick and things are changing very, very quickly. So I'm glad you put it out there because a lot of people, including myself, I think we are often not confident enough to say our biggest dreams. I definitely am very guilty of that. So I respect you for doing that, man. Like you're putting it out there, and I think it goes in line with what you've been doing by challenging Hong Ten and all of this and now making breaking go from nothing to the biggest thing in Chiayi. So, question, because it's so foreign to us living in San Diego, like probably like less than 1%, easily less, like 0.00 0.05% of San Diego are b-boys, and probably like 2% of our city knows what b-boying is. It's nowhere near Chiayi. It's so much smaller and it's so much more underground. So with your travels and seeing other b-boys from other places, not in Taiwan, what do you think separates breaking in Taiwan from breaking from the rest of the world? What do you see the differences?
I think Taiwan b-boy, we are more tight because Taiwan is small. So every b-boy, we can very easy to see each other. And foreigner, when I'm traveling like USA, I realize I go to practice spot is very hard. So usually I just training in my home, something like that, or car, yeah. So I think it's some if like a American way is more easy to do your style because you're not easy to see other people, and other people is also not easy to give you too much opinion. But so I think American people more know how to express their body language, because even though they dance ugly, but at least they have confidence. Yeah, I think it's really good. And for Taiwan Asian b-boy, I think maybe we are too tight, so we get a lot of opinion. Like if you tabra very ugly, people will say, "Hey, it's not right." So make people look kind of like everyone need to dance like this or like this. Yeah, because someone will say, "Oh yeah, that is correct style," or "This is American style. It's right way." So, but the good thing is we learn skill very fast because everyone will teach each other. So I think it's not a lot of people will find it's a cute for themselves. Like, oh, if I live in America, I will be like that. Or if I live in Asia, I will be like that. But I think every place have a good thing or a bad thing. So it's already happened, you living here. So what you can do is not complain. Is think about how I can get better. So if I want to be like American b-boy freedom, so it doesn't matter I'm living in Asia. Even though, so what I have to do is, if other people tell me my top rock sucks, I just learn like American. I don't give a shit. So even though how ugly it is, I will express myself. So you still finally you can get the point of what you want. So I think, yeah.
Right. And adding to that question, if those are the differences between breaking in Taiwan or breaking in other parts of the world, as a promoter or a manager or an event organizer, what are some things that you see different in, say, your city versus other parts of the world? Because one thing I noticed here in the United States is that before the pandemic, there were a lot of jams. Living here in San Diego, California, we're a 2-hour drive away from Los Angeles. And the West Coast, we have San Francisco, we have the Bay Area. There's jams going on every single weekend. It's either at a park or it's at a major event. But then sometimes the major events here, at most, there's like 1,000 people.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah, it's small.
There's a lot, but it's small.
And then when I went to Taipei B-Boy City last year, there's so many people, right? The final day at the mall, there's thousands of people there. And of course, that's for a world final. But the world finals over here, probably most people's around 2,000 to 3,000 people. But it seems like on many events in Taiwan, there's thousands of people every single time. So as an event organizer, what are some things that you see different in your city or your country versus other parts of the world?
I think different is like Taiwan. We really usually, if you saw 1,000 people come, this organizer should be really care about the audience or the feedback. If it's like if I want, I'm sure I can get 10,000 people in Chiayi to watching my battle.
Wow.
But the problem
Crazy.
is how I make all of them happy. Because if people more, it means I'm more harder to control.
Yeah,
So
true.
yeah, so I think most of like a Taiwan organizer, they care about the detail, but it's not mean everything is good like that. If care a lot of detail, is the event lose kind of like a commercial. Like in Taiwan, a lot of people say my events looks too commercial. Yeah, I don't mind that. So for American, I join a lot of Western event, not only America. It's also like a French or something like that. They are more flexible. It's better for B-boy because you can cipher all the time. You can sit down or lie down on the floor. Yeah, but I think the best thing is general audience will not happy on that. So I think it's two different way. I'm not say this good or this bad. I think it's both okay, and the both style, both ways should still living in the breaking scene. Yeah, so I'm not gonna defend any kind of event or style. Yeah, for me, when I join the Western event, I feel happy because someone called me out. I feel like yeah, it's feel like nervous, and I want to do that. But in Asian, because every detail is already set up, so you are hard to do that. Yeah, and no one will call you out, or if you call someone out, they say you don't respect. So it's different style, but both of them I love. Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't really think. Yeah, that's a good point. So it's almost like you're going in two different directions because one is more free flowing, right? It's loose.
Yeah.
So a freestyle session, I don't know if you've been, or Silverback,
Yeah,
right?
I've
They
been
have
there.
the ciphers during the break, and then you can just do whatever you want. You can dance, you can drink, you can just run around the floor, you can do whatever you want. But for events that are higher audience capacity and have higher budget, everything needs to be on time, right? So
Yeah.
you need to kind of take those two. I wonder if it's possible to do both. And I think it is. I think there are certain events that have kind of worked it out, but I haven't seen a lot. Are there any events that come to your mind?
Right, like an event where you can have thousands of people but still have a lot of ciphers
Yeah,
and free
including
flowing.
spectators, yeah.
Right. I'd probably say something like IBE, right?
Mm.
Something in the Netherlands because it's in a small city, in the city of Harrien, and even the taxi drivers that drive you around from your hotel, you ask them, "Can you bring me to the center?" or "Can you bring me to the event?" And the taxi drivers, they know.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, we're going to IBE.
Oh, wow.
Because it's in that shopping center. And there's kids running around, there's families running around, and then there's breakers from all around the world. And they cater, I think the balance is that they cater to a lot of different styles. It's not just breaking, right? IBE has the all-style battles. They have like the experimental battles. They even have top rock battles specifically, or a concrete battle over there, or the Red Bull
Yeah.
BC1 Holland Cypher over there. So I think that's somewhere where the balance is.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. Have you been to IBE before, Harrien?
No.
Not yet?
No.
Okay. We'll have to go
But
sometime.
yeah, I heard it's fun.
It's fun.
Are there any other Oh, sorry. What's up?
Nothing. I just think about. I was planning to do something like that too. Yeah, but
Do it. Yes.
for me it's a challenge because like you guys watching me battle hometown. For me, it's kind of like a exhibition battle for general audience. Yeah. So afternoon before the battle, we don't open, but we set up some event only for B-boy and the popper, something freestyle like that, old style. Yeah. And I think I really want to do like IBE. I mean, before the exhibition battle, like IBE, like a festival.
Yeah.
So I think in the future, I will try to make that happen. but it's just still like in my goal. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to that. Cool.
Yeah.
Are there any events that you've been to that are not b-boy that inspire you, or anything you look up to, like whether, because you mentioned UFC, you mentioned all these other things you pull from?
Maybe like a music festival or a concert. Is there anything like that inspires you?
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera. You know,
Phantom of the Opera, really?
Yeah.
The show?
Yeah,
Oh, shoot,
that's
really?
one of my favorites.
Huh.
Yeah, I watched
Interesting.
that a lot of time. Yeah, I just it's because it's really quality, every detail. Even though they make mistake in the show, but you can't see. I mean, yeah,
Wow.
I read the actor interview, so I know they make mistake.
Oh, wow.
But when you watching the show, you don't know they already made mistake. So I just like, wow, they are so professional, everything like that. And even though the Phantom, he's ugly, right? And when we see the show, it's very far. You can't see the detail. But I read the interview, I saw the picture, the Phantom, his eyes, they use a contact lens, how to say that?
Contact.
And it's
Contact. Yeah.
different color.
Oh.
So I just think like, oh shit, it's different color, but the audience can't see. But
No, they can't tell.
he have to do, even though the detail just like very little.
Yeah.
So for me, I just think I think people should be professional like them, or our show should have to be like that.
Right.
Because a lot of people, maybe I speak this got some heads, I don't know. A lot of people think I'm artist, so I do what I want. But I play piano, I play violin, and I play magic. I know it's not like that. The artist, you should express yourself. You need to open your brain to make your art. But it doesn't mean you like you don't build yourself just like sleep until nice. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
not like lazy every day and say I'm an
Right.
artist. Yeah, real artists, they still very concentrate on their art. Yeah.
I see what you mean. Yeah, it's kind of like, people can use the identity of being an artist as an escape for being lazy, or for being unorganized, or for just kind of not preparing, right? Because it's like art needs to be free. It needs to be there can't be any restrictions. It can't be strict, right? That's what a lot of artists say. I think that is actually a very common excuse in America, particularly as well. Probably maybe worldwide, but for sure here, and especially for freestyling, right? Because breaking is a freestyle dance, right? So it makes sense why we would believe that there requires no preparation.
Yeah.
But the reality is, people who are known in breaking, who are winning, and who are not even just winning events, but are being known as a name in breaking, being known as a style, they're putting the time in. They're taking the time to organize themselves and take the training hours and prepare their combos for the stage.
Yeah.
Like any musician, you have to practice the song. You have to practice the sequence. You can't just go on with your guitar and do that, or else
Michael Jackson. I think for sure, no doubt, he's the greatest artist. And I remember have an interview. Someone asked him or his manager, I forget. He said, why you can be so great like this? And he said, everything is practice. Even though detail, I think about that. Even though my clothes little bit detail, my team think about it all the time. So yeah, they really inspire me a lot, because I start from the street. So all of my friends was like, hey, B-boys, be free. You don't need to think too much about that. But when I read all of the success artists, their interview, or martial artists, they have the same point. Is they very organize themselves very hard. Even though Hong Ten, when he quarantined in Taiwan and living in Taiwan, I saw him every day wake up in the morning and the training 3-hour exercise. Yeah, and even though I can't do that, so when I saw that, I just feel that's why he's hometown. It's not because he's hometown, so he's so great. It's because he worked and organized himself very hard, so he is hometown. Yeah, so also motivation means.
Yeah, there's something I want to mention that I think goes really well into this, just for people listening. But the idea of not of having constraints. Do you know the word constraint? Like a lock or boundary, like a box. When we have these boxes or constraints that limit us, people think that it's like you can't prosper inside the box. But in reality, when you give yourself constraints, when you make a schedule, when you have a list of things to do, it's within those constraints where you can freestyle. And that's where you have the most mental awareness and also just ability to freestyle within your constraints. And that's where you get to thrive, right? So I heard that somewhere, and I think that speaks very well to what you're talking about in art. And so I appreciate you for saying that, because that's not something I would have expected a b-boy to say, especially a b-boy from here. It's not common. So it's really cool to hear. Yeah. Another thing I have to ask is about making your art a living. I know that's a super hard subject to talk about here, because it's like you said, breaking is your career now. But I'm assuming you wouldn't be doing it if you didn't like it. You sound like you are enjoying it. And I think that's something a lot of people dream of doing. You know, they dream that they can create breaking into a living. So for the people who are not in Chiayi or who are not on Dream Runnerz and around the world, who are also trying to help us build breaking and their art into something that they can live doing, you know, they can work. What advice would you want? What kind of advice would you give those people?
I think it's really hard, because in breaking, our marketing is very small. So if you want to make a living, you need to think the first. Like if you make money from b-boy, you are hard to live in, because b-boy are poor. How you make money from poor b-boy? So my strategy is making money from rich people. They have money, so you don't need to worry. They don't have money to pay you rent or something like that. But if you want to get attention from the not general audience who rich, at least your image need to be great. So someone say like, and you need to do something, maybe marketing or promote yourself, like.
Right. Yeah. How did you go about it? How did you market to rich people?
It's a show. I think.
The show.
Even though on Instagram. So for me, even though I'm poor, but I act I'm not poor, because if rich people know I'm poor, they are not let their student come to learn my skill. You know what I'm saying?
So you have to play the part.
I don't need to act like I'm rich, but at least I think I need to doing clean imaging. I cannot like smoke in front of the audience or something like that. Yeah, so I think build your imaging is the most important thing for b-boy, the first step. And the second step is we build a teaching system to show audience like taekwondo. You have a white and the red and the black, right, to make people know, the level is like this. So the parents know what their kid learning right now.
So what do you guys do for
something
that?
Like that.
You do?
Yeah. So we do a lot of things. Yeah, to make people believe breaking is healthy, something like that. So slowly, it's soon. In 1 year, every our crew member make a good living.
Wow.
Yeah. So
in 1 year.
But in beginning, it's really hard, because nobody know what is breaking, and nobody believe it, and they think it's a poor thing. So they don't want their kid to be here. Yeah. So we do a lot of free showcase to promote, and the people come. We training how to talk, because a lot of b-boy they don't know how to talk. If they are noobs b-boy, maybe they know. But when they level getting higher, they have a lot of stress. So they don't know how to talk again. They think if I talk this maybe too cocky, or if I talk this maybe too not humble, so they limit their skill of talk.
Right.
So I think talk is really important.
Wow.
Yeah. So it sounds like there's a lot of training in business to learn your value, right? So in Taiwan, or from your experience, how did you learn how to create your own price? Because I think there's a lot of artists here in the States. Yeah.
How do you price yourself?
You don't have to tell us how much.
Oh yeah,
but how do you come up with your price? Because I know here there's some people that want to start teaching classes, right? Here in the States, oh, I want to start, I don't know, coaching, getting people ready for the Olympics, or I want to teach private lessons, but I don't know how much I'm worth, right? Some people would say that, and I've even personally encountered that.
Actually, we charging a lot. I don't mind to share. Some of our students, I think more than 10 or 20 more. They pay each month $300. So I think a month. I think it's a lot in Taiwan. Yeah. And in beginning, we don't know we can charge it so much like this.
Right, because what if people object? What if people say, whoa, that's too high?
Yeah.
Or what if people say, huh, he's cheap?
Yeah. In beginning, we don't know we can charge it like this. But we just think one thing is how to make the students think, yeah, it's deserved. I pay this.
It's worth it.
So all of us, it's just because I learn piano and violin, so I just searching like, how much violin price? So I said the same. But in beginning, people will think how violin is maybe more value or more history, so they can charge like this. And why you can't do it? So that's why I say build your image. It's important. Yeah, because you look clean and you look confident and good at the talk, and you have some how to say, you can make the student and the family parents believe you.
Believe in you.
So you can earn the same price with violin or other ability. And if you're doing great, you need to be higher. Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, because
you spend a lot of time on the student, and they're happy, their parents happy. So next month you can get maybe 20% higher. So just like this. So until now,
building the trust. Yeah. And I think for breaking, not a regular everyday person, whether they be like poor or rich, they don't really understand breaking as a practice. You don't, like you said, we don't have belts or anything, so you created a ranking system so people can understand, like, okay, I'm progressing, you know, or you create you give yourself a nicer image so people don't automatically assume that you are just like smoking and like just doing all of this like gangster stuff, because because of breaking's past, they have created that perception. So it's a matter of bridging the gap between us and them in a way that allows them to trust, right? So that makes a lot of sense. And I liked how you mentioned violin as an example, because people will compare the two, and you also have experience learning that. You learned violin, right, piano, and all these instruments. You went to class to learn, right? So that makes me think that you may have pulled some inspiration from those practices. Is that true? And if so, what other kind of disciplines, what other practices, like whether it be violin or piano or martial arts, what do you guys use to use to look up to or to take inspiration from for breaking, for creating
everything. You mean what my inspiration, right?
Yes, for creating breaking as a business or as a living.
Because for me, breaking is like a sport combined with the artist. So we need to strong body to do exercise or some amazing move. So I look up Taekwondo. And we also need to listen music and some freestyle, like I play piano freestyle. So I also think I also learn something from piano. So yeah, for me, everything good for breaking I will bring into. Like my father do studio, so I just go to his company and watching how he manage it and organize, and I think okay, maybe this is good for breaking. So I bring my studio, like my father's studio. Yeah, so I realize they really care about the parents. Like in breaking, we sometimes we don't care about parents. We just tell young kids, say, "Hey, do yourself" or something like that. Yeah, you should do yourself. But we also for my studio, we also connect with the student and the parents, like
Oh, really?
yeah, healthy relationship.
Huh.
Because the student they look up us, like just
Yeah.
like me look up hometown. So we say anything, student will believe. So we asking the parents, say what you want to talk with your students. And if parents think you can dance, but please don't smoke and don't tattoo. And we will tell the students, say, hey, yo, b-boys doesn't mean you need to smoke or tattoo, something like that.
Okay.
So we get a balance with the parents and the student. So student happy and the parents happy will pay. So I think it's healthy.
That's
Wow.
awesome,
Yeah, I think this is really important.
Yeah.
If you only make money from b-boy, they really poor. They want to learn, but they don't have money. At least they need to eat. After eat, they can learn. They can pay you. But
That's true.
a lot of people they don't even can eat very well. So yeah, that's why my strategy.
And it sounds like you have a very strong relationship with your dad, as well as your mom. What are some of the most important things that you've learned from your dad, and what's an important thing you've learned from your mom?
For my dad, he also teach me a lot. It's no excuse. Like when I start to building my studio, he give me a lot of challenge. Like he never give me money, but he give me a lot of challenge. Like hey, yo, Harrien, you just do this, trying to finish this goal. And I heard the goal. I tell him, yo, this goal is too hard for me. I'm just 26. That time I was 26. I said, I'm just 26 years young people. And you give me a challenge is for 30 years old age challenge. I think, how you think I can do that? And he said, yeah, for sure. If you can say you can't do that because you only 26. But if you accept you can't do that, it means you only here. So if you accept you are just a young people and your ability is here, yeah, you can say I can't finish the challenge. But if you want to do something big, you need to know. You need to finish the challenge 40 years old age people can't do.
Wow.
If you can do, it means you better than the 40 years old
Wow.
people.
Yeah,
So
he pushed
after
you.
that, I just think, anytime I meet challenge, I tell myself, say, if I can't handle this, and I find the excuse, yeah, it's comfortable, but it's also mean I just here. Yeah, so he give me a lot of, I learned a lot from this.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what about your mom? What's one of the most valuable things she's taught you?
Yeah, she also taught me a lot, but I'm not good at that. Like social with older people, it's my bad. I'm still learning. I'm trying to because she's good at that. Yeah, she know how to build relationship well with mayor or chairman, something like that. Until now, the mayor and chairman they come to me. It's because we do something good. But I know if I learn my mom ability, it's getting more bigger. Yeah, because I have a better relationship with them. But for this case, I'm still learning. Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, I respect you for admitting that you still have to learn, because it's not like you have, yeah, because it's something that I think we need to continue to acknowledge, right? We, especially on an interview, right? If I was being interviewed, I would have the urge to appear like I have all the answers, like I know what I'm doing. But I think by you being honest and telling us what you truly believe you are and you are not, a lot of people in the audience are going to understand that, oh yeah, he's a human like us. Because I mean, yeah, just coming like from you to us, Harrien, we see a very bright future. I mean, you are living in a bright future, into say, but things are just beginning for you. And so, I think when people listen to this interview with Harricane, and they look up to you like you looked up to Hong Ten, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, he's just a regular person like me. You know, I can do it. And so, yeah, I think you're setting a really good example. That's what I'm trying to say. So thanks, man. Yeah, we can close up soon because we've taken a lot of time. But you can think of any last questions. Something I wanted to ask you before we close up is just because I think when we think of, you mentioned Taekwondo. I did Taekwondo from 6 to 17 years old, and I know what you're talking about. There's the belts and the rankings. So for your school, how do you like to structure it? You were talking about fostering a good relationship with the parents and the students and you. I think that's really brilliant. I've never thought of that before, because not only is that giving value to the student who wants to learn breaking, but also the person who's giving you the money, who is the parent, and they're getting value from it because their kid is learning something and they're also gaining positive values. That is brilliant. I really enjoy that. So to bring that up, what else does your school do? What's your ranking system, and what is the how did it start actually? Because you have a studio, right? So how did you build the studio? What was the process and the story behind that?
You mean how I built my studio?
Yes.
Okay. In beginning, we win all the qualify in Taiwan, and I make some name on international event, some name, and I start to watching other top crew, and I realized why after they take all of the major champion and they disappear. So I found maybe some problem is because they can't live. So I have to learn this lesson. Is if I don't change my way, I just go straight, it means my crew one day gonna quit.
Right.
Yeah. So I have to do something. So that's why I choose to organize a studio first, because for me it's most easy. So I tell my father, and in beginning he say, okay, it's good idea. I invest you, yeah, to open your studio. If you show me, you can with your crew member to give me $1 million.
Oh.
Your crew member can show me $1 million.
Okay.
I will invest you. And we think like, motherfucker, we are poor. How we can give you $1 million NTD?
Okay.
Yeah, but I think if I say no, it means I'm sucks. So I tell my father, so okay, I will do it. And me and my crew member, we meeting, say, shit, how we can make $1 million to show him we have the courage to open a studio. And all of our members bring all the money from our bank, just put in one spot, and then we count. Shit, it's just a little. And we think, so how? And so we start to do a lot of showcase. And every showcase, we don't put in our pocket.
Okay.
We just put in one bank. And until one day, it's $1 million.
Wow.
Actually, it's $500,000.
Okay,
so
okay, $500,000.
It's $500,000. So I tell my father, after we get $500,000, we tell my father, say, yo, look, we already have $500,000, so you can invest in us. And my father say, I changed my mind, maybe not. And I feel like, what? And I don't know how to tell my crew members. My father say that he don't want to invest now.
Oh, no.
So, but I have to say. So I meeting with them, and okay, we think maybe we we change my mind. We make money from ourselves, and every money we don't put in our pocket. And finally, we make 2 million.
Dang.
2 million.
Wow.
And I go to tell my father, say, hey, Daddy, I made 2 million, so you don't need to invest us. So we start our studio.
Wow.
And when we start, we realize a lot of problem. Like, okay, 2 million is just enough to open. But how about the salary? Because we have 8 member. 8 member, every member's salary, wow, shit, it's so heavy.
It's a lot.
And the rent and the cost of water, electro, oh shit. And I realized if I pay salary 2 months, Dream Runnerz Studio is gonna fuck. It's gonna close. So I explained the situation for my crew member, and we meeting, say, okay, so we don't take salary. Yeah, we don't take. How much we made? 50% we share. So in early beginning, we just made every month each person 4,000 NTD.
4,000? Wow.
It's
that's not a lot. Yeah.
It's so poor.
That's
but
crazy.
It's very little. But if we don't do that, we are close. But when students come, we make a deal with my crew member. Like, we need to act. We are not poor. Yeah. So like before, I tell you, even though we are poor, but at least we need to act like we are clean. Yeah. So we start to like watching Gary Vee or Jake Ma, how they speak, how they talk, how to look so confident. And I teach all of my crew member. Yeah, so that's how we start. And maybe a few months later, we take 10,000 a month each member. Still little, just 300.
Yeah.
Yeah, still little.
A month. Yeah.
But we are already happy because we think we are poor B-boy. How we can make like this? And we motivation us, so we work more harder. Until now, we don't need to worry about money.
You guys hustled. I thank you for telling that story, because that's I mean, it sounds big in NTD, but
it was so hard time. But I think now I remind this story is sweet because we know, and my crew member know how hard we passed from the beginning. So when people talk shit on us, we just think, we are stronger. Nobody can beat us. Yeah, because we all know how hard we pass.
I love it, man.
Wow.
All right. Well, I have one last question, Nico, and then go for it. I want to take it a little bit deeper, Harrien, because I didn't get to ask you this, but all of this stuff we've been doing, a big reason why we even know each other, I mean, the reason is breaking. The reason why we're talking to you right now is breaking, right? Breaking is a big part of all of our lives. But the question for you is, why breaking? What was it about it that made you want to do this for the rest of your life? Why is it so important to you? What about it provides you that value?
First, I start breaking is because I want to get a girl. And this girl know how to dance, but I only know how to play violin and piano, and I looks like with the guys, I don't have confidence.
Oh, a nerd.
So I think I have to learn breaking. Yeah. So after I go into breaking, that girl still refused me, and I think doesn't matter, but I need to prove I can do one thing very well, is breaking. So I started training very hard. And how to say, sometimes my mother just say, you don't need to keep on this, because after how hard you work, you can make money from breaking. And my father also tell me the thing like this. But in my mind, I just think like, as I told you, people think I can't do it, I will prove them, I will do it. So just because some word like people don't think I can do it, so force me go again and go again. And until 2 years ago, the girl I want to get, he come to my studio learning.
What?
Yeah, so yeah, it's also motivation me a lot. Yeah, like okay, now you come.
That's
Yeah,
pretty funny.
so
That's
I
a
do
pretty funny
that.
story. Wow.
Yeah.
There's a joke. There's a joke in breaking that a lot of b-boys starts to dance for the girl, but only people that you attract are guys.
Yeah,
For
a lot of
b-boy.
people scared to say this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's important because new generation they need to know the story. They can learn from the story. So if I tell fake story, it means they will
Yeah.
miss their direction. Like I learned from hometown every move from my early beginning. So I tell my student, this is the way I passed. But a lot of people they just tell them, I'm not hate. Just they say I'm original. But actually they also learn from other people. So the new generation, how they don't have any experience, how they can be original. So they miss their time. They waste their time on how can I be original, and they can't practice because they don't know the goal and the way. So I always tell the true story. Like I want to get a girl, and I'm the loser, and I fighting for someone, because that is my true life. And they can watch my life, my story, and then they will know how they gonna do. They cannot. If they don't want to be me, they can choose other way. But at least I show them a past. Yeah.
Yes, 100%, Harrien. Yeah, I think it's like I said as well, with you allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to share the failures and the rejections and the refusals. This is what makes a story a story. It makes it true. And a lot of people think, especially like I think it's a masculine thing, like a guy thing, to hide your weaknesses and to hide your failures. But I think it's only by accepting that they happened and taking the lesson from it and making sure that you're not ashamed of it, that it happened, and now what are you going to do about it? That is the way you're going to progress. So I appreciate you and I acknowledge you for doing that and doing it on air as well, because whoever's listening is going to take these lessons with them as well. So, dude, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with this conversation. I think you did an amazing job. You've been talking like incredible. You've shared so many amazing things with us, and I've had a great time. Just want to let you know. But if Nico has nothing else to say, I just want to say, like, if you have any last closing words that you want to share with people listening, whether it be breakers or people who are trying to find their passion or starts their business or their journey, now is your time. You can leave them with any final words.
Okay, first is I think you don't need to hide your weakness, because if you have a courage to share that, it means your confidence, because you don't think this weakness can beat you, and it also means you don't care about opinion. And the second thing, I think, if you when I speak in the school, the young kids school, and I ask, hey, yo kids, what's your dream? And every kid like that. Oh, I want to be Spider-Man. I want to be the president. I want to be the police officer, everything. But when I go to junior high school and I ask again, yo, what's your dream? And nobody like us, nobody have the courage to speak. So I think this is a problem. People don't believe they can do it, and they think people gonna love them. So for me, I think my life is special and it's very, how to say, 精彩怎么讲？
精彩。
Yeah, I think my life is very good. Even though I die tomorrow, I think it's enough. Everything I already have experienced is too lucky I have this life.
Wow.
Wonderful. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful. My life is so wonderful. I think why I can so wonderful is because I always just focus my goal. And I want to tell the other people and who watching this interview, just believe in your goal. Sometimes your parents, your friends, they gonna stop you. It's not because they don't love you. They want you good. But you need to know, only you know what you want to make. So 99% people, they just pass in your life. They just give advice and they don't care. They just give their opinion like, oh, you should do that, but they don't care. They just keeping their mind, their life. So sometimes opinion, you need to listen and think about it. Is that real? If real, you just make you stronger and grow up again. If not real, just don't give a shit and keep your faith. And it's hard, very, very hard, because nobody believes in you. But when you success, you will feel so proud of yourself because you prove everyone, I'm right. But the proud just a short time, because if you have a goal, you will know this is not enough. I need to go to my other goal. So this circle is always happen again and again. When you want to start a new goal, people talk shit, don't understand, and then you prove it, you find a new goal, people start to talk shit and don't understand again. So people only can live one time. So I think you need to know you are special. So follow your faith. Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
Dude.
That was incredible. God damn.
Thank you so much, Harrien. No, you have inspired not only us, but many others out there. Every time I watch a Harrien battle, every time I see you on the floor in a video, I'm going to remember this talk and be like, that guy is incredible. He's a winner, you know? So Thank you so much for sharing your mind and for sharing your story and your path. And I mean, that was a great place to end it off. So I think we'll cut it off there. And it's been so much fun. We can have you on again next time. And if you would like, maybe we'll get a translator. But honestly, your English has been incredible.
Yeah,
your English
is so good.
Really good. Yeah. So you did an amazing job. You were nervous at the beginning, but you killed it, man. And so, last things, I just want to plug you. So make sure you follow. Is it Dream Runnerz with a Z _ Harricane? That's on Instagram. Follow Dream Runnerz Official on Instagram and check out just the crew and what they're doing. Go on YouTube, look up what Dream Runnerz is up to, because they're doing some incredible stuff for breaking and creating a category in Taiwan. And so, Harrien, it's been an honor for us to have listened to your story. Thank you for taking the time. And we'll end it here. This has been Kai.
My name is Nico.
And this is The Crossroadz, signing out. Till next time. What is up, you guys? It's Kai again. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Crossroadz. Your listenership makes all this work worth it. Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram at @thecrossroadz_, or visit us at anchor.fm/crossroads. There, you can leave a voice message or questions for future episodes. And if you really enjoy the content, you can even become an Anchor supporter by donating a small monthly fee, whether that be $1 or $5 a month. We will give you a shout out on all future episodes of The Crossroadz. And if you're short on cash and can't donate, no worries, we feel you. You can still support the show in the best way possible by sharing The Crossroadz with a friend. That way you will not only be supporting us by bringing us new, valuable listenership, but by helping your friends gain new knowledge. Hope to hear from you soon, you guys. Take care. Till next time.